Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will start learning taints and tolerations in Kubernetes. First of all, we will understand what are taints and what are tolerations, and then we will see how they work. So, taints are properties that we can set on the nodes. Okay. Here, for example, let's say that here we have a Kubernetes cluster with two worker nodes. So, for example, here we have the first worker node, and here we have the second worker node. Let's say that here we want to tell the scheduler that this worker node doesn't accept any pod. Okay, so not any pod can be deployed here on this node. Okay, to achieve that, here we can taint this node. So we set a taint for this node. And then we go to the pods, and using tolerations, we tolerate this taint, so the pods can be accepted by this node. Okay. First of all, we have to know that a taint consists of three things. Okay. First of all, a key, and we give this key a value. So here equal value, and then we have the effect. Okay, so when we set a taint for a node, we have to specify these three fields. Okay, so you can choose the key that you want, the same for the value, and for the effect we have three effects. So we have the now schedule effect. We have the prefer now schedule, and finally we have the now execute. Okay, so here when you set a taint for a node, you can choose the key that you want, the same for the value, you can choose any value, and for the effect you have to choose one of these three effects. Okay, so for example, let's say that we want to taint this node with this taint. So for the key I will choose key 1. For the value I will choose value 1, and finally for the effect I will choose the now schedule. So to add this taint to this first worker node, for example, here we use the command kubectl taint node, and then we give it the name of the node, and then we give it the taint, which is the key, the value, and finally the effect for this taint. Okay, so when we set this taint on this node, so when we set this taint on this node, this first worker node will not accept any pod, only the pods that tolerate this taint. Okay, so the pods should tolerate this taint to be accepted by this first worker node. Okay, and we will see how we can tolerate a taint later. Okay, for example, if we have here a pod, and this pod doesn't tolerate this taint, this pod can't be accepted and can't be scheduled on the first worker node. Okay, but if it tolerates this taint, now the pod can be scheduled here on the first worker node or the second worker node. A very important thing that we have to know here is that if the pod tolerates this taint, here we allow it to be scheduled on the first worker node. but we don't guarantee that it will be scheduled here. Okay, if the pod doesn't tolerate this taint, it can't be scheduled on the first worker node. But if it tolerates this taint, it can be scheduled either on the first worker node or on the second worker node. So tolerations allow to schedule a pod on a node, but doesn't guarantee that the pod will be scheduled on this node. Okay, so here to add a taint to a node, we use this command, kubectl taint node, and then we give it the name of the node, and then we give it the taint. Okay, if we want to remove this taint, from this node, here we use the same command. So kubectl taint node, and we give it the name of the node, and then we give it the taint that we want to remove. So here we have value 1, and here we have to specify the effect, which is now a schedule. And finally, we have here to add a minus sign. Okay, so here we have minus after the effect. Okay, so using this command, we will remove this taint from this node. Okay, so that's how we can use taints to allow or to prevent pods from being scheduled on a specific node. Okay, in the next video, we will see how we can tolerate a taint so they can be accepted by the node. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video.